Oh.
Yo, what's going on, dude?
Hey, guy. Good to see you.
So,
what's up, everybody?
We're out here recording episode number 1 of Bist Dude. Bist Dude is a blog started by Mike Dew to connect people like us, catch people up, see what everyone's been doing since high school, because I think that's kind of a fun thing. Maybe we'll learn something about each other and make some new connections. Anyway, Chris, I know you've been out just traveling around the world for a while, and it's been pretty cool. I wanted to catch up with you and just ask you, what have you been up to, man?
Yeah, cool. So a little while ago, me and James Caruso went on a little excursion. We did a 9-month trip, started in Vietnam, ended up in Eastern Europe, so we covered a lot of ground in between. Places like Nepal, Georgia, Ukraine, Lebanon, a lot of different cultures, a lot of different people. And the point of that whole trip was kind of to capture a more candid understanding of people. Of the cultures, of our similarities, of our differences, and try to cut through a little bit of the news and media and what they propagate different parts of the world to be. You just see a lot of negativity on screen, and there was no political agenda going into it. It's pretty much just cataloging two guys in these situations and in these cultures and meeting these people, and it was unbelievable. You know, we had a great time. Obviously, met some phenomenal people. And, we have a lot of stories to tell.
Great, man.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you one question then.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest takeaway from your trip?
The biggest takeaway, I'd say, coming out of a trip like that is realizing how good people can be. You know, you go to some of these places of the world where people have so little and they give so much. You know what I mean? They give the shirt off your back, sometimes literally. You know, I've been to Lebanon where, these people don't really have that much. And, your perception of the Middle East is like they probably hate us and we're skeptical of them. And then you get there and you're kind of wary of telling anybody on the street that you're American. And when you do, a group of people come around and you get a little scared because you're like, oh God, like here's the mob. But then they're all just super curious. The one kid gives you the Sprite out of his hand, and you're like, no, it's okay. And he's like, no, please take it. And so it's like those small moments, and there's a lot of them that happen, but in essence, it's a lot of that. There's a lot of people that are just genuinely good. And, traveling 9 months and meeting all these different people, it was unbelievable just to kind of experience that, where you think that everybody's typically selfish or self-involved, to understand that people are just curious and people are just genuinely good was really great.
Nice, man.
Yeah. So what about you though, man? I know you've been doing a little bit of traveling yourself. Tell the audience where you've been, what you've been up to, and what's your biggest takeaway from traveling as well.
Yeah. So for me, I went out to the Philippines, and this was a huge trip for me in life.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, I was actually adopted at 10 months old, and this was my first return back to the Philippines ever.
Yeah.
I got to see my old hometown. I got to see places that my parents would have been, and visited my the orphanages where I would be as a baby.
Okay.
And met people from those places. It was like one of the most insane things I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I kind of feel the same way as you. Maybe it's just Asia is a little bit different in terms of how they treat one another, but definitely everyone's capacity to give is something that I found to be insane. And it made me realize that I have so much that I can still give and do to help other people in that part of the world and elsewhere.
Absolutely.
So we've definitely been blessed with the opportunity to travel and connect with people and tell these stories.
Yeah.
That's the thing for me now, that I'm also trying to do some video making and stuff.
Yeah.
To be able to try and tell stories for people that can't tell them.
Yeah.
Or just, give awareness to things that really matter and show that people, regardless of the negativity that you do see around you, are good.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, man, definitely we'll stay in touch.
Yeah.
Reach out to everybody on the Bist Dude Network. It's going to be growing. This is episode 1 of many. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Peace, everybody.